In this After Effects tutorial, we're going to talk about shape layers and solid layers and how to name them and organize them. As you can see, I've created a shape, a star, and in my timeline, it says that it's a shape layer. As you might be familiar with other software, naming your layers accurately becomes critical in keeping yourself organized. The more layers that you have, and if they're named generically, the more confusing it could be in a larger project for you to be able to tell which layer contains what items. As you can see, I've created this shape layer, and if I click on the layer name itself to try and rename it like I can do in other software, you'll see it gives me an alert allowing me, or rather denying me, the ability to simply click and name the layer. To rename a layer, if you right-click or hold Control-click on a Mac, you get this submenu which allows you to select Rename, which highlights the layer's name so that you can then name it what you wish. This is how we rename shape layers or any layers in Adobe After Effects. We can also create what they call a solid layer. If I go up to my menu and click Layer, New, you'll see it gives me a lot of different options of what I can choose, even shape layers. We'll select Solid, meaning that it's going to give me an entire full field of color. You'll notice that it's going to name itself after whatever the color is that we have by default selected. I'm going to select kind of a cooler color. And then I'm going to highlight it, and we'll just call this light blue. Again, it can be whatever color you want. By default, it will be the width and height of your file, filling the entire screen, but you can adjust this to smaller sizes if you want. Once you've selected the color and have named it, click OK, but you see that the star has disappeared. I can adjust the layer order, however, by clicking and dragging and moving things underneath one another, just like I can in other software. If I don't want to move this background, I can click here in my timeline the lock key, which will lock the background, preventing me from moving it. Just like in other software, I have to have the layer selected if I want to move it. As you can see, nothing is selected, but if I float my mouse over it, it will click on the star and then allow me to move it wherever I want it to go, and it will leave the light blue background locked. Selection is key when dealing with elements in your Adobe After Effects. 9 out of 10 times I encounter with new students in Adobe After Effects that are trying to manipulate something, and it's because they don't have the layer selected. And this is how we manipulate layers, shapes, and solid layers specifically in Adobe After Effects.